So the pad I have on my desk today is the Artisan Raiden. I got this pad in the XSOFT variant and also in the mid variant. And this comes in, what is it, coffee black or coffee brown or something like that. So you will notice that the pad isn't like all the way, black, but it's very dark though when you actually see it in person, but it does have that slight brown undertone. This pad is Artisan's speed pad. So it isn't like the Shidenkai with the glass beads and the coating. This pad is no coating and it's just a pure cloth speed pad. But this pad is very unique in its own way just because the pad has a tighter weave than a lot of pads do on the market. I feel like a pad that might come close to this pad is maybe the Infinity Mouse speed pad. But even then, this pad is in the lane of its own. It's in that same thing, kind of like the Shidenkai, which is very unique, and it's hard to really just give it a great comparison. Now, this pad is probably going to be one of the most consistent, one of the most smoothest, and one of the most durable pads that you ever own. And that's not me just glazing the pad. That's just known facts about this pad. This pad has a lot of lore behind it. A lot of people love and hate this pad, especially when you're talking about, the mid or the XSOFT. You go on Reddit, you will see a lot of people debate all day about which one is better out of the XSOFT or the mid. And I will cover which one I prefer, but you guys pretty much know which one I prefer, you know what I'm saying? So I will say that also this pad does suffer from sensor issues from time to time. I have had some spin outs with this pad, but I mainly only had them on the XSOFT compared to the mid. The mid is a little bit more consistent than the XSOFT as far as sensor things and whatnot. But I've had like a lot of stuttering issues and just like overall just spin outs or just inaccuracies, I should say, with the XSOFT compared to the mid more often than not. Now, just to get down to the nitty gritty and just get down to the raw performance of this pad performs exceptionally well in game. Like I said, this will probably be one of the most consistent pads you own. In my opinion, this is what I call the all around mouse pad because this pad doesn't excel in any one category. Yes, it's very fast, but it also has a nice control feeling to it as well. And also when it comes to micro adjustments or stopping power, it exists. You know what I'm saying? The static friction really isn't the highest. It's like relatively low, but it still feels very good to use. And then dynamic friction is much of the same. It isn't the highest, but it's still there. And you will notice if you compare the pad between something like the Shidenkai and this pad, you will notice that the Shidenkai is a lot more floatier, a lot easier to get going, and that's just because that dynamic friction and that static friction is ever so slightly lower than this pad. So this is kind of like, in my opinion, like the yin and yang Shidenkai and the Raiden, you know what I'm saying? So they're very similar but very different in the same light. I will say though, personally for me, I do feel like this pad offers its best performance overall in the mid version, just because not because the mid is slightly faster than the very soft, but it's because the mid just overall is ever so more consistent for me and how I aim compared to the X soft. I just noticed with the X soft, because I do like using dot scapes from time to time, that when I start aiming, I want to be precise and I start digging into the pad more because I might be a little bit more heavy handed than usual. I just noticed that overall that I become very inconsistent with tracking and smoothness because it starts scratching on the surface, or sometimes it doesn't pick up my precise movements. But far as when it comes down to target switching or flicking, the XSOFT feels very nice and very exceptional for that. But it does kind of suffer ever so slightly with the tracking side of things. But then when you look at the mid version of the pad, for me personally, the mid just eliminated all of those issues that I had with the tracking, the smoothness, and just being as accurate as I wanted. Overall, the mid just feels like the XSOFT, but it's just not as controlled. It's a little bit more slippier, a little bit of a faster experience, but it's not something that you can't, can't control. You can't develop the mouse control overall to use the mid. I would say who I recommend the XSOFT for is for those people who, let's say you don't aim train, right? You don't train your mouse control with aim train or nothing like that, and you're just talking about pure performance in game. Tech FPS player, you play Counter-Strike, Valorant, games like that, slower paced shooters, then you will enjoy this pad because it enables you to be fast and precise while giving you that little bit that you need for holding that angle or that flick so you can be right on target and you don't overflick. But if you play more faster paced shooters like what is Opa? If you play more fast paced shooters like Overwatch, Apex, Fortnite, games like that, Call of Duty, then you will find yourself probably enjoying the mid a lot more than you would with the XSOFT, just because it enables you to track and target switch, in my opinion, a lot better. I do like target switch on the XSOFT. It is very good, but I still prefer it over on the mid just because it's a personal preference. And something else I've noticed too, and this is just more specifically with the Raiden, I haven't really used a cloth pad like this. So when I use dot skates, even on the mid, I just find that dot skates really don't feel just the best on this pad, but a great combination that is probably extremely underrated. And I seen Maddie Overwatch talk about it on Twitter a little bit. Is the donut skates, the Jade donuts, or even the Obsidian donuts if you want more control. But the Jade donuts, in my opinion, is a great combination. I tried it out for a little while. Of course, I swapped out to my Yanzis. I just love the Yanzis. They feel so good. But anyway, yeah, the Jade Donuts feel very good on this pad, especially on the XSOFT. I noticed on the XSOFT with the Jade Donuts, it eliminates a lot of that muddiness feeling that I hate. It eliminates a lot of that weird control, that weird like snatching on the pad when I move around with the skates as if the pad trying to like devour my mouse or something. It just kind of eliminates all of that feeling, and it just makes this pad feel just even better to me. But I really enjoyed the Jade Donuts on the mid as well. Like, it's just overall the Jade Donuts, a great underrated combo if you haven't tried it with a speed pad at least, or at least with this pad. The Jade Donuts with the Raiden is like a top tier A+ combo that I recommend if you're looking for mouse skates for this specific pad, or just a speed pad that's similar, like an Infinity mouse speed pad. Try those Jade skates. They play fast, but they do break in really easily, and when they do, you get a nice, even, smooth, consistent glide and just feel very good. So overall, who would I recommend this pad to? And in my opinion, this pad is a pad that I can recommend more widely to a bigger audience of people compared to like a pad like the Shidenkai. Like I kind of said in the beginning of the video, if you like speed pads, if you like glass pads, and then you will find yourself being able to like this pad as well. It has a lot of those same properties as far as being fast, being smooth, being precise, and just feeling like you have full control of your aim. But it isn't anything like the Shidenkai with the coating and the leathery feeling and whatnot. So it's going to be very smooth, and there's going to be very little feedback on the pad when you're actually aiming in game. And personally for me, that's kind of the reason why I couldn't main this pad, because of the smoothness of it. I like texture, and it's just too smooth for me personally. So that's why the Shidenkai is like my top pick. But I digress, you know what I'm saying? If you do prefer speed pads, this is a very good pickup. Like I said, it's probably the best all-around pure cloth speed pads you can buy. It's very durable. It will last you for at least a year plus. I would say durability shouldn't even be a question with Artisan pads most time, unless you're buying the Shidenkai, in my opinion. It doesn't pick up hair very easily. It doesn't get dirty very easily. It's just overall been very consistent. I haven't had any issues. I've had it for, I want to say, maybe about 4 months now. So very consistent pad, and just overall a very fun pad to use. I would definitely say that if you're new to speed pads and you're trying to get into a speed pad, this is the speed pad to buy and try, because there isn't any other speed pad on the market, and I guarantee you this will be the most consistent and most fun speed pad that you have ever used in a very long time. So with that being said, let me know in the comments what you think about the Raiden, or if you prefer the Shidenkai, or overall what's your favorite mouse pad. Other than that, that's been your boy Woodja, and I'm out, man. Peace.